How's it going, guys? The new core set just got announced yesterday, and now we're gonna go through all of the cards that are leaving the core set, all of the cards that are staying in the core set, and all of the cards that are getting changed in the core set. It was quite the hassle to actually do this thing, so I really hope you enjoy it, and if you do, a like and a subscribe would really help. And also don't forget you can capture some Hearthstone coaching. Now, let's check out the cards.
You are not prepared!
So, I'm gonna start off with showing each class and what cards are leaving for them, and we're gonna kick things off with Death Knight. And here we have red rectangles for the cards that are leaving. We can see that Body Bagger and Noxious Cadaver are leaving the core set. All of the other cards you're seeing are remaining, however. We can also see that Might of Manipule is leaving, which was a pretty good card. The one drops were pretty negligible if we gotta be completely honest, but Might of Manipule definitely had its moments getting discovered or straight up ran into decks here and there. It used to be quite the powerhouse of a card. Nowadays, there are some better options obviously, but still, I think this would be a missed card, especially for the Frost archetype of Death Knights, if that ever receives enough support to get back on its feet. This thing is no longer going to be there. We can also see Corpse Bride is going to be leaving, and that was not exactly a very important card for a while now, so not going to miss that one too much. However, we can also see Soul Stealer is leaving, which is kind of a huge bummer for a very controlly Death Knights, and also the Scourge is also no longer going to be stealing games randomly when it gets generated here and there. It used to be quite the powerful thing to get randomly. It never really was a part of a straight-up deck to get ran into, but yeah, it was a decent card to high roll from here and there, especially from Primass, so it is no longer going to be the case with it. What we are getting instead is the new Felric, which is going to be a 3-mana 2/4 double unholy card. You gain twice as many corpses than normal. Battle Cry, draw a card that spends corpses. Kind of a cool card. It's a legendary. You're getting it for free from the core set, so that's kind of cool. I don't think it's going to be that impactful. Doesn't look to be super strong. Then again, we don't know exactly what the new cards are going to be coming to Hearthstone real soon, so there's that too. But so far it looks like an okay card to have, especially for free, but nothing really game-breaking. Tome Guardians are getting back in standard as well. Definitely not a bad card to get yourself some taunts on the board, protect your face and whatnot. It's nice and tokeny, and it does spend a bunch of corpse, so I guess Felric can pull it off. Death Metal Knight is also coming back. Never really was a very amazing card to begin with, but it's something to think about, I guess. Death Chiller, that used to be a cool card for some Frost Death Knights here and there, but nothing too amazing lately. Poison Breath is a new card, which is gonna be decently powerful, giving yourself even just your hero power. The ability to kill something straight up like that is gonna be kinda cool, and let's not forget giving Poisonous and going for Threads of Despair is a full board clear, so that can be pretty awesome. Malignant Horror was a pretty okay card to spend a bunch of corpses with, so that could be nice for some Death Knight archetypes, but time will tell how that one goes. Next up we have Demon Hunter, and plenty of very mediocre cards are leaving. Things like Umberwing, things like Coordinated Strike, and Expandable Performers are all leaving, and nobody really gives a damn. What people do give a damn about is Metamorphosis leaving, because that card did definitely find its way back into the meta very recently too, so that is going to be a decent hit to the Demon Hunter class, but instead what they are going to be getting back is some pretty good and some pretty whatever cards. Zai never really was a part of the meta. It is getting a little bit buffed here. It used to be a 5/3, now it's a 6/4, and honestly I don't think that makes much of a difference for a card like this. We also have the 7-mana Priestess of Fury coming back, with Demon Hunter being able to discover this. They do have some Demon Shenanigan discounts going around right now. Some shopper discounts and whatnot. That could be interesting. Tusk Piercer used to be a very good card for Demon Hunter. I'm not sure how exactly it's going to pan out right now, but it's definitely nice seeing this familiar face back. And another very nice card I missed was the Fellow Rattler, which is a 3-mana 3/2 rush that deals 1 damage to all enemies as a death rattle, and it's a beast. This used to be a very strong card for some Demon Hunter decks back in the day, and yeah, coming back might be pretty powerful. With Druids, we are losing some interesting cards, but nothing really to write home about. Lesser Jasper Spellstone, nobody really used that, and neither did anyone use all of these, so very, very negligible things lost for Druids. And what they are getting instead would be Fandral Stackhelm, which also got himself 1 extra HP. Vibrant Squirrel, which used to be a pretty fun card for token Druids. Best in Shell, an okay-ish defense card, and also Flipper Friends, another decent-ish card. It's also a choose one, so Fandrel's gonna do some shenanigans with that. But honestly, none of these are to be expected to be very meta-defining. Honestly, maybe Fandrel might actually do something, because getting buff effects on choose one cards could be interesting, and honestly, with the new expansion being very Druid-oriented with Ysera and whatnot, I do believe we should be getting back to our roots with Druids with some more choose one cards, so I do expect this guy to be actually decently impactful now that I said it. Moving down, we have Hunter, and here for the first time ever, Hunter is going to be playing without kill command, I do believe. I don't think there has been a historic time or place where Hunter did not have access to kill command. Don't quote me on that one, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. Same can be said for Savannah, and we're also getting a couple of other cards with Dragonbane no longer being in the core, as well as Secret Spellstone not gonna be in standard anymore either. But honestly, this card never really saw any play, even in dedicated secret decks nowadays. It's just way too expensive. Maybe if they dropped it to a 4-drop, that would have done something, but then it would have been kind of broken now, wouldn't it? What Hunter's getting instead is actually kind of cool. Varanus used to be an absolute god of a card back in the day. It's also a dragon, so I do believe the Emerald Dream expansion is gonna have a lot of dragon and a lot of dragon nonsense going around. So this card is probably gonna be pretty significant as well, hopefully. Terror Scale Stalker. This thing used to be a 3-mana 3/3. Now it's gonna be down to a 2-mana 2/3 and triggers a friendly minion's death rattle. That's gonna be pretty strong. Mountain Bear used to be a super good card back in the day. Maybe it's gonna be pretty good again, even though in today's day and age with all the power creep, it might just not be cutting it, but it's gonna be a pretty decent thing to get randomly as a 7-drop, that's for sure. And lastly, we have Wound Prey, which would be a super good card right now in the current standard meta, because with all these shamans with their pop-up books, a 1-mana Wound Prey deals with both their frogs instantly, and you can be waltzing to face down, so this card would be very strong, I do believe. Next up, we have Mage, and here we are gonna see another batch of not so very important cards leaving. Babbling Book, nobody used that. Arcanologist, nobody used that. Shooting Star, very scarcely used. And Stargazer also, best case scenario for her was for you to get it randomly out of a Gorgon Zormo or something, so nobody's gonna be missing these cards, I do believe. But instead, we're getting some heavy hitters back, like Archmage Tony, which used to be a pretty strong card way back in the day. I'm not really sure it's gonna do all that much in today's day and age, not unless it gets some heavy support for some discounted spells and such. It's kind of cool that Familiar Face is coming back from Mage, but I wouldn't expect too much out of it. We also have a new card here, Babbling Bookcase, 3-mana 2/4. Already told you this card should be pretty trash. Battlecry, add 2 random mage spells to your hand. Like, what is this, classic? It's literally a babbling book. Stat for stat, effect for effect, just made it into a free drop, and I don't think that's gonna cut it for today's day and age. We also have the upgraded 1-mana Violet Spellwing. This used to have 1 attack, now it's gonna go up to 2. That might be interesting, but I wouldn't put too much money on it. And also, Oasis Ally is coming back to standard, which is not very good news for Weapon Rogue and classes like that, but yeah, this thing is gonna be back on the block. Then again, when has a Weapon Rogue attacked a minion? I guess if there's a few taunts in the way or something like that, but that's not happening way too much. Paladin up next. Here we are losing several pretty meaningless cards, and Lady Liadrin. Not that Lady Liadrin did all that much, even with the entire Libram patch getting reintroduced into the game, but she is definitely probably the best out of the bunch. We're also losing Warhorse Trainer, which I did not know is in Standard. We're losing Standard. We are losing Stand Against Darkness, which also is something I didn't really realize is in Standard. And God knows I had no idea this Hammer of the Nauru was in Standard. Like, I have not seen this card a single time for the span in which this thing has been in Core. What we are getting instead would be Anachronos, which is quite the powerful card, quite the wonky powerful card, but very powerful indeed. It's a 7-mana 8/8 to begin with. It's a dragon, so again, with the Asera stuff, there should be some dragon supports, I believe. And sending all other minions 2 turns into the future, that is a very wonky thing to be playing around, because you gotta have some good board control, board management. And remember when the minions are coming back, so you actually leave enough room for them to actually get resummoned, because if you don't have enough room, they're just gonna not get back. Not die, they just get removed. They don't death rattle or anything like that. So you gotta be smart about this card, and from what I remember, this thing used to be decently powerful back in the day, so be on the lookout for that. Underlight Angling Rod used to be a pretty strong card. After your hero attacks, add a random Murloc to your hand. I don't know if this is gonna be all that strong nowadays, maybe if we get a lot more Murloc support for Pally, but so far that is not probably going to be the case from Emerald Dreams at least. We also have a 2-mana 2/3 Murloc, a red scale Dragon Tamer, Death Rattle, draw Dragon. Again, some dragon shenanigans support potentially. And lastly, we are getting back 7 mana Immortalized in Stone. And this thing got changed. It used to summon 1/2, 2/4, and 4/8. Now it summons 4/8, 2/4, 1/2. And this is indeed going to be better, because if you're actually playing this on a almost full board, at least for 7 mana, you're going to summon a 4/8 and a 2/4, and the 1/2 is not going to have the room to get summoned, whereas back in the day, the 4/8 was the one that would have been cut off, which basically made it useless on a almost full board. Moving down the line, we can see Priest is losing some decent cards. Well, honestly, the only decent card would be Crimson Clergy, which honestly kind of fell off lately. It has not been as meta impactful as it used to be after Funnel Cake got nerfed, but it still saw some play here and there. Mana Geode was absolute trash through its entirety. Shadow Word Pain, kind of a cool card, decent to get discovered, decent to get run in some control-y priests, but to be fair, Control Priest hasn't been all that it's cracked up to be lately, so it wasn't that impactful either. Katrina Muerte could have been a decent discover. Nobody really ran her though, and Lesser Diamond Spellstone. It almost was ran a bunch in Highlander Priest not too long ago, but nowadays it's not exactly super powerful. What we're getting instead would be Natalie Celine, which is honestly a pretty cool card, sitting at 7 mana, sucking up another minion, kinda decent. Light Shower Elemental used to be a powerful card before. 6 mana, 6/6, Death Rattle, restore 8 health to all friendly characters. Kinda cool. But I'm not sure how cool it is gonna be in standard 2025. Probably is still gonna make some good inclusion in Control-y Priests. Greater Healing Potion is also coming back, which is whatever, I'd say. But what it's not whatever is the 5 mana, 5/5 Undead Spirit Guide, which has Taunt and Death Rattle, draw Holy and Shadow Spell from your deck, which is a very, very nice way to be fitting out the deck, control the boards, and also getting specific cards out of your deck always has been pretty strong. And lastly, Power Word Shield is also coming back to town, and that used to be a super strong card. Give your minion +2 health, draw a card, all at the low price for 1 mana with the Holy tag. Very, very nice core card for Priest, dare I say. Next up, we have Rogue, and everybody was wondering if Shadow Step and Prep are going to remain in Core, and god damn it, they are. All of the Rogue cards that we have been bitching about are going to be remaining in Core. What is leaving is Sap, which literally didn't see any play in its current Core rotation. Elven Minstrel saw some play here and there, but nothing too grand. Felderay Strider, nobody cared about that. Spectral Cutlass, nobody cared about that. Well, I did actually see a few meme decks and a few not so meme decks with this card even a few weeks ago, but yeah, it's gonna be gone. And also Flick, which was not as impactful as she used to be back in the day, but I have seen her here and there. I think it was actually both of these cards in the same deck, and they did actually work kind of decently well. What is Rogue getting instead? That would be the 3 mana Shaku, which is a 2/4 stealth. Whenever this attacks, add a random card to your hand from your opponent's class. Not exactly game breaking or anything like that. 4 mana Woggle Pick. It's a 4/2 Death Rattle, return a random friendly minion to your hand. It's kind of a wonky card to be fair, with the random tag on it. Not sure how that one's gonna go. We also have the 2 mana Undercity Huckster. So it does seem like we are getting a lot of random generation reintroduced into the core set for Rogue. Not sure how I feel about that. We also have Defias Ringleader. This used to be a 2/2 that summoned a 2/1. Now it's going to be a 3/2 that summons a 2/1. So kind of cool. And lastly, we have Foxy Fraud. Battle Cry, your next combo card this turn costs 2 less. I do believe this card might actually be quite meta impactful, because Rogue does have quite a few really good combo cards in Standard right now, and with a little bit of extra support from the new expansion, this card might actually be super strong. Next up is Shaman, with a few not very important cards and a few very important cards, starting off with Air Elemental, which nobody cares about. Muckpools is leaving, which did see quite a lot of play lately with Big Shaman and whatnot. Overdraft is leaving, which is kind of huge. Spirit Claw was also getting a lot of uses lately. Ancestral Knowledge, decent-ish card that did make its way into some meta decks not too long ago. Even right now, still, Nature Shaman has been abusing a lot of these, like Ancient, like Overdraft, like Spirit Claw, all of those were important. What was not important, however, was Think From Below, and also Kalimos after the nerf for Shutter Block is also kind of pretty useless. And what we're getting instead for these would be Kragwa. The frog is coming back. Return all spells you played last turn to your hand. That might be kind of cool. We can also see the 5-mana 7/9 Earth Elemental, which could be an absolute god tier of a randomly generated minion through a 5-mana cheese. We can also see the 4-mana 4/6 Jinyu Water Speaker. This used to be a 3/6, I do believe. 1-mana Blazing Invocation is coming back. Discover a Battlecry minion, it costs 1 less. Kinda okay, I guess. Maybe in some Battlecry Shaman shenanigans it might make its way. Voltaic Burst, summon 2 1/1 Sparks with Rush, Overload 1. Kinda heavy, honestly, for what it does. But who knows, it might be impactful. Marspawn, Battlecry, if you cast a spell last turn, discover a spell. Kinda okay, it's an elemental. We do have some elemental support. And lastly, we also have Wailing Vapor. After you play an elemental, gain +1 attack. This might actually be kind of a cool card. This might be actually the card that Elemental Shaman was really missing to really get things popping off. And yeah, might actually be decent support for the Elemental Shaman archetype. Moving down to Warlock, we can see some pretty important cards like Defile leaving and also Twisting Nether. Is this the first time Twisting Nether is out of core? I'm not sure, kind of feels like it. And we're also losing Voidwalker, Bloodbound Imp, and Archvillain Rafam. Nothing to write home about, really. And what we're getting instead would be some pretty important stuff. The Solarium, which is an absolutely huge card, especially for tempo-oriented decks. And not only. Despicable Dreadlord used to be an absolutely amazing card back in my day. I think it used to be a 4/5, now it's a 4/6, but sitting at 5 mana dealing 1 damage AoE. Not all that it's cracked up to be in 2025, I believe. Dark Peddler is coming back. Wow, I didn't even realize this thing is a freaking undead, freaking Warlock card, but whatever, honestly, it's not gonna do all that much. Vulgar Homunculus is also returning. Maybe if Pain Warlock is still a thing, Solarium and Homunculus would be pretty nice. And we also have Fiendish Servant. Death Rattle will give this minion's attack to a random friendly minion. Can we do something amazing with this? Maybe with the Death Knight Tourist, some kind of hand buff stuff? I don't know, we're gonna have to look into that. And also Demonic Assault, deal 3 damage, summon 2 1/3 Voidwalkers with Taunt. Kinda cool. And on the last spot we have Warrior, which is losing again quite a few good cards, and I'm not sure why Bladestorm is listed as a 3-mana here, it doesn't make too much sense. I think it's just a bug actually, so don't mind this. I really hope the other cards weren't bugged, at least I didn't notice anything. But yeah, 2-mana Bladestorm is leaving Standard, which is kinda big. Downcrier used to be an amazing card to get your Ankylyax. Whirlwind, nobody really cared about this. The Flunky is also getting removed, not very important, and Deathwing, didn't even realize this guy's in Standard, not gonna lie. And what we're getting instead, pretty good stuff actually. Bulwark of Azinoth. This card used to be an absolutely broken piece of fucking dog water. I for one am not very happy this thing is coming back to Standard. This was such a broken card. Every time you're a turn away from killing them, boom, they slap in the goddamn Bulwark, and yeah, you can go fuck yourself. So I'm not exactly thrilled this thing is coming back, but it is what it is. Bloodhoof Brave is coming. It's a 4-mana 2/6 taunt. It goes higher. Ravaging Ghoul is kind of an interesting reintroduction in core. Hook Fist, after your hero attacks, gain 4 armor and draw a card, is very, very strong. And lastly, I know a guy, not exactly important. that's about it for the class cards. Now we can see all of the neutral cards that are leaving, and there's plenty of them. I hope I didn't miss one of these to go in the red circle. And Snow Flipper Penguin is leaving, didn't really care about that. Armor Vendor was kind of useful here and there. We're no longer gonna have neutral charges like Southsea Deckhand and Leroy. What we are still gonna have would be Dirty Rat and Doomsayer, however, and also Cult Neophyte, so that's something. We can also see things like Wandmaker leaving, Bronze Gatekeeper leaving. Zola is also gonna be going away. Defender of Argus, Footman, I don't know. Replicating Menace is leaving. Justicar, cool card, but didn't really see absolutely any play. Leroy Jenkins is leaving finally. And also MC Tech is leaving finally. God knows that card was hell of annoying to play around lately. Very, very anti-tempo kind of cards. Night Elf Huntress leaving. Wargear. Warsong Grunt. No more Grunter Hunter in its iteration. Sylvanas Windrunner. Barongeddon. And we're also seeing plenty of the, if not all of the, iconic dragons leaving. So I'm assuming with the new expansion being super dragon heavy oriented, we're gonna see new iterations for all of these epic dragons, legendary dragons, dare I say. Some 2025 iteration of them, I guess. So no more Alex for now. Malagos, Onyxia, Isera, Deathwing. And also all of the giants are leaving, like Molten Giant is going away, so that's actually a huge hit for Pain Warlock if that was coming back. We saw some support, but with this leaving, I'm not sure any support is gonna make do. Sea Giant is leaving, which used to see some play here and there for some pallies and whatnot. Mountain Giant is also leaving, which used to see some Warlock play not too long ago. And what we're getting instead is quite a lot again. And a lot of these cards are actually also buffed. We can see Octosari, which is quite the crappy thing to get randomly, by the way. Like, draw 8 cards. Cool if your hand is empty, not so cool if you're a full hand combo deck. Chillmoss coming back, not exactly important, I think. Sitting at 7 mana, not very enticing. Sneed's Old Shredder, also pretty crap card if you ask me. Kareen Bloodhoof, however, got a little bit of TLC, and now it's gonna actually be a taunt. 6 mana 5/5 taunt, summon a 5/5 Banehoof, and summon a 5/5 Bane Bloodhoof, and I'm not sure if the Bloodhoof also has taunt, probably not. Guess time will tell. Cornelius Rome used to be a pretty cool card. Nowadays, I'm not sure he's gonna be that strong. The Curator is also coming back, which is kind of cool for some Menagerie style decks. And it's also sitting at 5 mana only. This thing used to be 6, right? Pinja's coming back, 5 mana free 5. Maybe Murloc decks are gonna be back in town. The Black Knight, 4 mana 4/4. Tradable. Damn, boy, this card got very, very buffed actually. That should be pretty strong, like destroying Unkiliax with his Divine Shield straight up like that. That might be pretty cool. You're still gonna have to work with the Reborn if you haven't yet, but definitely kind of cool. King Mukla is gonna be a nice little high roll for you. It's also a 5/6 nowadays. That might actually be pretty powerful. Lore Walker Cho, kind of interesting. I guess doing achievements in Standard is gonna be a little bit easier now, that's for sure. Blowtorch Saboteur is going to be making your opponent's next hero power cost 2 more, so it's actually going to be either 4 mana if you're anything other than Demon Hunter, or 3 mana if you are Demon Hunter. Runaway Blackwing also got upgraded into a 10 mana 10/10. Might be interesting with the new Dragon synergies the new expansion should be showing. Steam Cleaner finally coming to Standard. Are the Plagues leaving Standard right now? I think they are, right? Helia was from Titans, that's for sure, and she's not in the core set, so why the hell are we getting this thing right now? God damn it. This is the hero that we wanted, but we never got it when we needed him. God damn it. Also, Boom Boss is leaving Standard as well, right? So, why is this guy coming back again? Maybe the new expansion is going to bring some answers to that. Sunfury Protector is replacing Argus Protector, basically. Moark Forge. Fiend is coming back as well. Kind of an okay card to get randomly, I'd say. I wouldn't really run it most cases. Like, imagine running this as a Dungar Druid if you have access to your frickin' Elusive Beast. We're also getting Menagerie Jug back, which is kind of whatever, but it is actually upgraded. Battlecry, give 3 random friendly minions of different minion types, +3/+3. So this is basically a 5 mana 12/12 if you manage to set the board right, but how often that's gonna happen, I don't know. Also, the Menagerie Mug is here. She's basically a 3 mana 6/6, again with quite a lot of setup. Fire Plume Phoenix, this used to be a 3/3, now it's a 3/4. Nether Spike Historian, a little bit of more dragon support. This used to be a 1/3, now it's a 2/3. And Maze Guide is coming back. Kind of an okay card to go wide, but not in today's day and age if you ask me. Prize Vendor used to only have a Battle Cry, now it also has a Death Rattle, so for 2 mana you're drawing a grand total of 4 cards, both of you with the opponent in total. And lastly we have Wisp replacing the Snow Flipper Penguin. Not bad, not bad. Lastly, just so we can feel that we made an absolutely full review of the changes for core set, I'd like to check the returning to core and new to core changed cards, because these did get some changes, or they're fresh new cards. We can see the 5 mana Deathbringer Seraphang. This used to be a 3/5, I think. Now it's getting a little bit of more health. Spike Rich Steed used to be a 6, now it's gonna be a 5 for Pally. SI Agent is gonna be dealing 1 more damage. Evasive Worm is gonna have the elusive tag on her, and also didn't this used to be a 5/3, perhaps? And moving down to the other cards, see if there's some changes. Natalie used to be an 8 mana actually, I think. Yeah, these are a couple of new ones, we talked about these. I guess Shaku used to be different before. Was it a 2/3 or something? I don't know. This guy got buffed a little. This thing used to be a 7/8, I think. This had 4/7 or something? Not sure, honestly. I think this did not have the it costs 1 less tag before. This guy got extra health. Curator lost 1 mana. Finja got some stats, I think. The Black Knight super strong. Mukla got 1 extra health. This guy is making hero powers 2 more expensive now instead. Or Runaway Blackwing got extra stats. The Jug and the Mug got extra stuff. Extra damage here, extra damage here, and Prize Vendor added the Death Rattle. Yeah, all around good stuff. I'm not exactly sure what this is gonna do to Standard, obviously. Way too many changes are happening. Not only the core set, but also free sets are leaving Standard in not too long from now. So with all of those changes, obviously Standard in 2025 after the rotation is gonna be nothing like before. Do let me know in the comments what you guys think about these changes, and I hope you enjoyed this video. It definitely turned out longer than it should have been, but I decided to be as thorough as I could be. Hope you enjoyed, and if you did, a like and subscribe would really help. Thanks for watching. I'm Kris05, and I'll see you in my next video or stream.